Welcome to the Fish Cam. This is Fish Cam TV, and today I'm going to show you how to cook delicious rainbow trout. Alright, if you're new to my channel, you've never seen my videos before, we do a lot of fishing, but sometimes we do cooking too. This is one of those days. So what we're going to do, we're going to use that barbecue pit, but what we're going to do is I'm going to swing the camera around, alright? Swing the camera around, and I'm going to show you our little work area right here. We don't have a proper table right here, but we got a flat area we can use as a table, a couple of chairs. Alright, so what I'm going to do is show you what we're going to need to cook the rainbow trout, okay? So what you need is certain ingredients, and then you need some utensils, because it just makes it easier. It would be difficult to do this with 0 utensils, but those are not necessary. Those are optional. It just makes it easier. But what you have to have is a bowl to mix the baste in, the glaze. We're going to glaze the trout, right? Okay, so you're going to need 2 or 3 cleaned rainbow trouts, okay? Cut the head off, cut the belly, slit the belly, take the guts out. That's how you clean a trout in 4 seconds. You know, that's a different video. But this video, we're going to assume that we have a couple of fillets, and we do. They're right over there, already pre-cleaned, okay? That's the first thing you need is the fish. Alright, the second thing you need is a bowl to mix in, a small bowl to mix in, and you need olive oil, okay? I'm starting with these 2 because this is essential. You can't even do this at all without the olive oil. I think it's so important, okay? So we have olive oil. We're going to mix the olive oil with butter, okay? So we're going to mix the olive oil with butter. The butter has been pre-melted, which is going to help us. That way it'll glaze properly. In addition to the olive oil and the butter, it smells so good. You're going to need some type of spice. I'm using Badia. It doesn't matter. I'm not sponsored. This has nothing to do with that. I'm just letting you know that you're going to need some type of all-in-one dry spice like this. Okay, I could have easily used Tony Chachere's. It wouldn't have mattered. I'm just using this one because it's kind of well balanced. It's kind of even. So you're going to need a dry spice. Okay. You're going to need, at the end of it all, you're going to need salt. Don't forget that. Salt to taste. I have this powder here. I have fresh garlic, but we're going to use the powder, okay, because it's just easier. But sometimes I would take a few onions in a skillet and slices of garlic, thin sliced, and cook it up fresh like that, and add that to this base mixture. But that's basically the ingredients right there. Olive oil, some type of dry spice, a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of butter. The butter thing, you can play around with the proportions. The more butter you put, the more flavorful, but it'll tend to stick. So what we're going to do here is I've named off all the ingredients, and you can also add a touch of red wine vinegar. If you're going to marinate, the same glaze that we're using is also doubles as a marinade, especially if you add a teaspoon of that. So you can also use that. But basically what we want to do, what I want to show you is how to make the glaze. Alright, how to make the glaze, super simple. Okay, you take your bowl. I'm going to turn this way because I can't do both. Look, take the bowl. I'm going to need the free hand, in other words. And I'm going to measure out 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's how much I measured. When I do this by myself, though, I don't even use measurements like that. But we'll say 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's how much olive oil went in the bowl just now, right there. And so we're gonna need butter in addition to that. Like I say, a whole teaspoon of butter, just like this. Again, this is a Land O'Lakes garlic. Let me back it up. Garlic and herb. I've used this before, and I gotta say, I think it's the magic ingredient that makes it taste better. I'm gonna get 1 heaping tablespoon of the Land O'Lakes butter. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, now I've got both in there. This tablespoon is heavy, so I gotta watch. It's gonna want to turn over. Again, we have garlic, and we won't need the salt till the end. The spice, we'll just say a teaspoon of spice, and I'm gonna estimate a teaspoon right here. We'll say a half a teaspoon, actually, half a teaspoon. I'm gonna estimate. Half teaspoon of spice. Okay, put that in there. a pinch of garlic. Don't go overboard on the garlic because it is powerful. Alright, so we got literally a pinch right here. A pinch of garlic. That's plenty. Don't go overboard. Like I say, it's strong stuff. Alright, we got a pinch of garlic. We got the spice added already. Once this is all together like that, I said that you can add, for the marinade, you can add a little bit of red wine vinegar. I'm just going to do a tiny amount, okay? A couple of drops. That's plenty. What I poured out just now is plenty. Okay, so we've got this, now it looks like this, okay? We've got this very liquidy stuff right here. This is what we're going to use as our base, okay? That's what we're going to glaze the trout with before we wrap them up in the foil, okay? So mix that up real good. This does not work if your butter is not melted. So just quick tip from me to you to make this whole job easier. You're going to want to have that butter melted somehow before you start, because it will be difficult to mix dry butter. Alright, so like I said, utensils, I don't know if I mentioned it, but spatula, I have to have this thing, this little brush thing to glaze with that gets all over the trout, and a fork. Basic stuff right there, guys, basic stuff. So that's it. We've mixed up our concoction that we're going to use to glaze. The next step is to grab the fish. Like I said, they're on the other side of that screen. We're going to grab the fish, but we want the foil part. This part needs foil. So we want to get that ready, okay? So get all the spices out of the way. We've already used them all except for the salt. The salt comes at the end. Alright, so move that out of the way. And again, forgot to mention onion flakes. This whole dish tastes so much better with those onion flakes. Alright, so this is the part where I have to go and grab the fish. So let me go grab the fish, and then we will continue. Alright, without dropping it, here is 3 whole cleaned rainbow trout fillets, dried. Even the inside cavity part is dry. Completely dry. They're ready to go in the foil, and they're ready to be glazed. Let's do that right now. Also, before we do that part, I'm going to add one more ingredient. It's quite important that I forgot. I'm so sorry. Lemon juice. And we have a tablespoon, but I can estimate half a teaspoon is right there. Boom. Half a teaspoon. Pour that out. Stop. Mix it up. Mix that up. Just like so. Now the glaze is ready. It's totally ready. I'm so sorry I forgot that step. The lemon gives it that citrus punch, and that's important. Alright, so what we want to do now is move the fish aside, take the foil, alright, and take some squares of foil like this. Alright, each fish gets a foil. Alright, the foil is out like that. Can you see that? Let me aim down. Yeah, there we go. You can see that a little better. Alright, take the foil like so. Take one of the fish, and remember, this glaze has to last for three different fish have to be glazed with this liquid. So when you're glazing, just consider before you start how much you have to work with. Okay, I'm going to put a bunch of glaze on this green thing. Alright, put a bunch of glaze on the green thing like so. Alright. I wish I knew the name of this tool because I use it all the time in my cooking. Alright, so take the glaze thing and take and go on the inside cavity. Like I said, make it last for 3. You have to go 3 fish. So use enough to where you can do 3 fish and you won't have any left over. Alright, just kind of judge. Alright, so I'm glazing that side. Gonna turn it over, glaze this side. Just like that. Boom, done. That one's done. Alright, that one's been glazed. The inside cavity is glazed. All the outside is glazed. Done. Okay. So now that that one's done, without spilling the bowl, because it likes to tip over, go ahead and wipe my hands real briefly. And we'll get ready to wrap. This one's ready to cook. Okay? When it looks like that, oh, one more step. I almost forgot. The onion flakes. Alright, take these onion flakes like this. Again, you have to make these last for 3 fish, so judge how many flakes you need. I want to start on that side to get them on both sides. Put some right there, turn it over, Put some right there. I even put some in the middle. Just like that, guys. Now it's ready. Now it's ready. Wipe my hands briefly. And wrap this fish. This fish is ready to cook on the grill. Alright, wrap it up. Boom, done. That one's done. Ready to cook as is. We can just put it right there. Alright, we need another section of foil and another fish. Alright? As you see, we hit a rhythm, so this part should theoretically go a little faster. We can mess with this foil. Alright. Done. Alright, got the foil. The bowl is already there, the fish. It's right here. Let's take the fish, take it like so. As I say, you have to make it last 3 fish. Judge how much you need. Look, I'm going to put a bunch on the inside cavity like that. Get it right there, get it right there. Get a bunch on that side. Douse it in this glaze. That glaze is what really, really makes this whole recipe work. Okay, get some glaze right there. Glaze it over there. When you're finished, put the spatula back. Grab the onion flakes. Alright, grab the onion flakes. Like I said, I put some in the middle cavity. I put some. Put the rest. Okay, grab some more. Put those there. A nice, big, thick layer of the onion flakes. Grab some more like this. Look. Flakes all up and down. I'm going to wipe my hands briefly. Alright, that one's ready to wrap and ready to cook. Done. Ready to cook. Fold them over. Fold that over there. Fold that over. And then fold the whole thing. Just like that. That seals all the juices in. Alright, we only have one left. Good news, we only got one left. Alright guys, it's pretty fun when we get to this part. Alright, so take the square, cut it, put it right there, we're done with the foil. Put it back like that, it's done. Alright, take the foil, take the last fish, alright, the final fish, take the glaze, like I say, even the inside. We want to even put it on the inside. Put it on the inside. Put it right here, up and down, up and down. Up and down. Get right here. Glaze that whole thing. Just like that. And when you're on the final fish, it does not matter about any of that other stuff. Like, when you're on the final fish, you don't have to conserve. Use all the glaze up. Use it all up. Alright, glaze right there. Make all of the glaze go in there, and then we're done with the glaze. We can do the onions. Take the onion flakes. Alright. Like I said, I do the inside cavity. Make that taste good too. And then start putting them on that outside part, just like that. Now you don't have to conserve the flakes because we're on the final fish. So just kind of use them all up. I'd say just kind of bring it right here. Put even more on the inside. Put even more on that side. And put even more on both sides because you don't have to conserve at this point. All right. So all the flakes are out. Let's take the foil, fold it up. Look, fold it up just like that. Fold it over. Fold this in. Just like this, guys. Just like this. Boom. That one's ready to cook. They're all three ready to cook. No other steps right here for us to do. All right, and now all we have to do is just swing the camera over. So let's swing it over. It's already in position. Here's the 3 fish. Put them on the grill just like this. What you're shooting for is an internal temperature of 150. Okay? So I'll put them there about 2 inches above the coals, maybe 3. Close it up. Okay. So let's go. Alright. So close it up. The only other thing right here, take note of what time it is. It's 4:20. Generally 22 minutes in an oven. If I let mine go for 25-30, I'm A-okay. When I cook like this, I generally let it go long. There's no problem with that. They'll just be a little crispier on the bottom. No problem. So we've done all we need to do right here. Nothing else for us to do but wait the required 22 to 25 minutes. All right, it's been 26 minutes. It's time to check our fish. Let's lift up the top and see if our fish are cooked. All right, for safety, I'm gonna put these gloves on. All right, and I have my fork. What we're gonna do is just kind of take a peek. I know they're done, but I'm just saying, if this is your first time cooking it like this, woo, it smells good. It smells good. Guys, there's a reason. There's a reason why I named this Delicious Rainbow Trout. That's why I gave it the name of this recipe is Delicious Rainbow Trout, because I can smell it from here. It is going to be absolutely delicious. Look, I'm going to take this fork. I'm going to take a little bite. It's going to need salt, so I haven't put that on there yet, but let me just take, look how tender that is. Do you guys see this? Look how tender. It's just falling off the bone. Okay, I'm going to take the fork and do just like this. Watch. Look, just like this. Watch. It is right on the money. It needs salt, I can taste that, but as far as the taste, the flavor is right on the money. This is absolutely cooked to perfection. And I give you a closer up view. Can we zoom in here? That fish right there. That is rainbow trout. This guy's right here. That's what it looks like when you cook rainbow trout to perfection. Let me adjust the, yeah. That is cooked to perfection. Rainbow trout, guys. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it is absolutely, I sampled it already. It is absolutely delicious. But I knew that it would be before we went and checked it. Alright, so that pretty much concludes what we're doing here today. This Fish Camp TV. I showed you how to cook delicious rainbow trout topped with onion flakes. That is the name of the recipe. I kind of came up with it myself based on existing recipes. So I hope I showed you the right way. I hope you cook this, and I hope it tastes just as good as it tastes right here. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time on Fish Camp TV.